let's diagnose the issue I'm facing with Expulse. Today morning I just washed my Expulse, and after taking a quick spin, this started happening. So this is the problem I'm facing. Whenever I'm trying to twist the throttle, the engine cuts out, and so I suspect the problem would be that some amount of water actually got into this fuel tank and is actually now in the carburetor now. And my hypothesis is confirmed. Let me turn the flash on for a second. My diagnosis is confirmed because that's all water, that's not fuel, so it actually went into the tank. So this is going to be a video on how you can get the water out of your fuel tank. If this happens to you, you get stuck in rain, you get rained over, and why is it not draining? Probably something I did previously while adjusting the cams. Some of the pipes didn't go from the position I want them to, so this is causing an issue now. So let's take a look. So take a look, and I just remove the tank from the frame, and the quantity of water just dribbled down. The quantity that dribbled down is significant. So let's I just took the tank off, and look at the amount of water that just came from the drain hole. So that was the problem that is plaguing it. So if water has entered the tank, then the chances the carburetor has sucked it up too. So probably I have to clean the carburetor too. And tank is out there right now. I have to probably have to empty the entire tank to see if there is still. I have to empty the entire tank to see if there is any water left. So the pain for me, and the reason this thing didn't drain water was this hose was pinched. It was residing there like this, so the entire water was just clogged here and went into the fuel tank. Okay, so after a lot of fumbling around within the insides of the bike, I was able to get the carburetor out. And since this being a carburetor and not a fuel injection system, what happened is there was a lot of water inside the carburetor along with the fuel, so that all has come down right on the engine now, and I've soaked a lot of it onto the rag. And in order to get the carburetor out, I had to undo all the bolts of the airbox, which is right there, and I have to remove the airbox from its mounting points. 3 M10 bolts, two on this side and one on the other side, held this in place. After getting that loose and undoing a bunch of plumbing, that bunch of pipe that leads to the carburetor, I was able to get this out this far. Still the carburetor is held in place by the choke cable and another choke cable and a wire. I think that's a throttle position sensor, so it's held on via those two cables. It was quite a lot of work, and because of the mistake I've made earlier, water went in and got clogged into the fuel tank, and from the fuel tank it went to the carb, hence the engine was stuck. I've shaken it a couple of times, and let's see if let's invert it, put it in different angles. I've shaken it a bunch of times and rotated it in every different possible direction, gotten as much of it out in order to completely get the water out, I have to open it, and right at the moment, this Phillips screwdriver is not doing me any favors. It's caving out on those heads, and if it keep doing that, I will completely chew the threads off this thing. So I have stopped and gave up on the idea of taking it, disassembling it any further. I'll just try to shake it off as much as I can, get the water off if I can in that way. So I've assembled the bike back up, and I've cleaned the carburetor and installed all the respective hoses back into it. However, I wasn't able to open the carburetor up because these are GIS fasteners, and all I have is a Phillips head. So this thing is actually stripping the fasteners out, and I don't want that to happen on something as important as a carburetor. So I need a different tool for that. And by the way, I put everything back up together. The airbox is installed, and so is the carburetor. I had a little bit of difficulty in getting this and this thing lined up properly. Where is it? Yeah, I was having quite a bit of difficulty in aligning this rubber intake with the carburetors. Oh, something. Alright, I was having trouble aligning this and this. So after a lot of fumbling, I was able to do it, and I've installed everything back in its place as I took it out, and uh, uh, some cables are still left out. I have to install that probably. So this is still not yet done. Let's see if I can get my wires and put that thing back in its place. Alright, I'll do it up. It's not a big deal. I started the bike, and the bike is now okay. Let's have a listen. So the bike starts up, and earlier I was having the problem. As soon as I cracked the throttle open, the engine died, and now it's no longer the issue. Water has been removed from each and every part of the fuel system. The tank is free of water. Whatever water was there, I drained it via the a minute please, don't have much space here. I drained fuel multiple times via this petcock and separated the water that ways, and I've shook the carburetor come more than a couple of times, and I got water out in that ways from the carburetor. So if you ever get stuck in rain or some place where you face an issue in when you open the throttle, the engine cuts out, it's probably due to the water. If you have been near a water, means you understand the issue. So if water enters your fuel system, the engine would not rev up and it will cut out. And in order to get that thing done, just remove the carburetor, give it a couple of shakes, and or if you can disassemble it, that's probably better. Yeah, that's all you have to do. Hope you've probably learned something.